good sound? All right. Welcome once again. Tuesday live stream here at the Woodshed, noodling, trying to get some noodles out. Get the hands loosened up, right? Cool. I was coming home from lunch today. I haven't played much guitar today, so I'm just trying to knock the sleep and the dullness out of the hands. Had a big weekend, built an amp, built my first amp. Let me show you. Hang tight. I'll show you my first amp I ever built. I haven't wired it into the rig yet to where we can hear it, but check it out. This is my first amplifier that I've ever built. Right here she is. Look at that bad boy. Little Champ style amp, which is killer. And this was built with Daniel Klein. He was doing one of his Port City classes and asked me to be a part of it. And yeah, pretty proud of this guy. Little 112. She sounds real good. Real good. But like I said, just starting the day, knocking the dust off the hands. People ask me how I warm up. I don't really warm up. I just start seeing what's happening, right? You know, for me, it's like getting the bends to be in tune. Trying to get around the fretboard. Not really trying to do anything too spectacular because I'm just trying to loosen up the blood flow and get things rolling. I don't know what's going to happen. But, you know, oftentimes I get asked about the warming up and the ear training thing. And I thought I would talk about that today, right? We just kind of talk about what we can do to work on that. One, have two different types of beverage. Just beverage number one, that's just a water. And beverage number two, energy drink, a little go-go juice, right? And listen, I heard that song by The Outfield. You know the one I'm talking about? Y'all know that thing? I heard it on the radio. I was at Firehouse Subs, grabbing me a sandwich. The old sandwich situation. And I was like, man, what is it that I enjoy? What do I like to do with the guitar? And, you know, there's the heavy lifting, which is like, I like to make a record. I like to write. I'm writing a Kennedy Wood record right now, and there's some really fun stuff. I can't wait to get that record out. And I can't wait to make that record. Let me just back that up. I'm not really in a hurry to get it out. I just can't wait to make it. And I thought, well, what is it that I really enjoy that's the lighthearted stuff? And I heard that Outfield song, and I was like, man, you know what? I love to play the melody and the chords, just kind of like have little baby, I don't know, the living room arrangements, right? I got a little cheap PRS that lives up on the couch upstairs in the main house, and this little guy is he's a beater. He's a little acoustic and 000 parlor sized PRS SE. That way if the dog knocks it over with a vacuum cleaner, it's not the end of the world. And I like to have little living room arrangements. So let's check this out. We take this song, right? You know, we find the melody first, right? This is Ear Train. I know the song's an E, and that's all we need to go on, right? Nice and lush and big, nice tone. Let's just figure out, like, maybe this melody line. Right? So I just start, like, messing around with it. And then I just start trying to figure out what the bass notes are and the chords that can join that, and start making a little living room arrangement. And this isn't really premeditated or pre-cooked. Like I said, I heard it on the... Well, it's either the radio or no, it was Instagram. There was a girl singing it and playing mandolin. And she was just strumming the chords. She wasn't like playing the melodies or anything. She was singing the melodies. And I thought it was really nice. God, I like that song, you know? And as we all do, right? Golden era of music, and at least to me. And golden era of pop music, right? MTV and all that stuff. Do we still have the chat? Something messed up with the YouTube. Are we still there? I hope we're still there. It says currently signed out. I don't know why it's doing that. Let's try this again. Are we still... Can somebody verify in the chat that it's still there? Okay, all good here. I'm not going to touch the live stream because it's giving me a prompt window, and I don't want to mess with it, and I don't want to break it. I'm just going to continue on as we are rocking here. So let's take this melody, right? You know, right? And like, I'm trying to remember how he sings it, right? Not reference the tune. This is all about working on that ear, you know. And there's these little breaks that I catch in the way a singer sings. They don't play it like, or they don't sing it like this. That's very guitar instrument, right? A singer saying those little breaths in there. So let's try to put the chords to that, right? So we got it here. All right, let's try it like this. We got a 6 minor next. And I'm looking for ways I can keep this sustained, right? Like my ear knows I got to play. But I want to keep that sustain of that bass note. So let's just mess with this for a minute. Right? So I'm trying to find a way to play my B that's here on that 5 chord. So I need to have, so if I got a 5 and a 3, look, you know, or the 1 and the 3, this is the 5 chord. So it's the root and the third of the 5th chord, which is B. So usually what I notice is when I get into trouble in these things is when I have the root and the third on the same string, because the guitar is like elongated. There's a geometry problem that needs to be solved. So I'll take that root and drop her down a string. You know what I mean? You know what I mean by that? So this is just a geometry problem that I'm trying to solve. We know what the notes are. We know what the chord is, right? We're just trying to solve the geometry problem of the guitar. So let's try to do the front of that again. I think the front of it sounds nice. You know, 6 minor. And this is a great grip for a 6 minor chord. We usually have the 6, minor 3, 7, and the 6. 9, minor 7 voicing, right? Here it comes. We got to put this B down here. So we get the... Right there it is again. Yeah, so we gotta really get creative here. So we gotta have, but we have the geometry problem again of this low minor thing, where the 6 is. Like we can't play this and switch sides of the hand. You see what we're getting to? Switching sides of the hand, and we can't put it down on this. We can't put it here because that string is where this is. So let's try to put it down. So where this is, we need to put it here. See what's going on? We're going to switch that geometry of where that root is. So now we can play. So let's come into the front of it, right? Let's do it really slow. Hopefully we can play this when we get it done. I'm just trying to do the root and the melody. That's a freebie because we're in the key of E and we have that low A for the 4 chord. So now let's try to play the front of this. Do this medium tempo. Got to put that down here. Oh, sorry. Maybe there's a better way to do that. We'll look at that in a second. And so, now we've got to get to this bridge. Can't stop my. I don't remember. I think it's like that. Yeah, because I think. Yeah. So sometimes I have to like wait for a second to let it populate in my head, and it's like. Okay, good. So now we got G, and then I think there's a, whatever this melody, there's like a harmony thing that goes on with this. It's interesting. And again, this is all about ear training. We could turn the song on and off, but let's just rough our way through this thing. This is what I do on the couch. I feel like I got a hair right there. This is what I do on the couch. I just try to stretch my memory of the song without having to pull the song up. Again, you eventually get to the point where you need to pull it up so you can hear it, right? Hear how it goes. But I like to just see how far I can get before I check in. And I hope I've got this modulation in the right key. I think I do. I think that's right. I think that's right. So let's just start from right here. So we're gonna start with G, and it's got this like lifted flat 5, sharp 4, Lydian. You guys know what I mean by that? 1, 2, 3. Very much the that sound, right? These Lydian chords tend to want to move as a guitar player left and right. They want to move in whole steps because you have so many whole steps in a Lydian sound. That's a lot of whole steps, right? Here's G to A to B, B to C sharp. Yeah. That's what gives it that nice lifted dreamy sound, right? This goes, I don't know the melody, I think I got it. So this is either the melody singer or the harmony, but I feel pretty confident that somebody sings a part close to this. Something like that. Because it's like we're in D kind of. We've moved the song down to D kind of. Pull it up an octave. So let's pull up an octave. So now we got to do the same thing with the geometry here. Well, we get the low string, which is nice. I'm trying to get all this stuff to ring out. Woohoo! That's nice, isn't it? together. Maybe we can do double set. That's not right. With the thumb. So let's try the whole thing here. This is really like making it up as we go. Really interesting to solve the geometry problems and get the ear to test. I'm not 100% positive about the bridge, but that's okay. If I heard it, I think we could do it, right? Let's do it. I'm going to mess it up. I hope I don't. Let's try to get it right. What if it's a little sexier? Get the strum in there. Yeah. So I think this is cool. Let's play that last time we're in. add some double stops. Oh, sexy time. Get that clean. Okay. An instrumental album reinventing these pop tunes. Yeah. Do Say Goodbye, which is those arpeggios. Those are actually pretty straightforward. Let me show you kind of what I'm thinking when I do some of those. Is I'll lay out the major scale just in arpeggiation format, right? So I might have right for the front. I don't have the bell on right now. I have the Joey Landreth Dirt Dog, but everything else is right. Woodshed compressor, Dirt Dog, Gearbox VB4. Like that right there, right? Diatonic up. This is kind of how I would go about messing with it and just having some fun. And like, let me see. I might mess it up. I hope I don't. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Is it still working? Okay, cool. I hope so. Okay. Do I have perfect pitch or relative pitch? I don't have perfect pitch. I just have a good ear memory. You know, it's not really like. I don't have it as good as a lot of guys as far as being able to hear something and be like, oh, that's, 5 cents flat of B. I don't really think like that. once I get going on a melody or something in my head, I can start chasing it down. Yeah, it's a really cool, for me, I think it's cool to kind of keep the fun of music at the forefront. I know that sounds kind of stupid. Maybe it doesn't sound stupid. Maybe it sounds brilliant or stupid. It's one or the other for sure. But like, the reason I think it is kind of a smart way to do it is a lot of guys get so caught up in like learning licks or like what gear's being used or like, I don't know, like all these orbiting things, instead of just going back to the fundamental of like, is it a good melody with a good bass line? And if you play those two things together, does it sound like the song? And I think this one for sure sounds like the song, right? I mean, it just sounds nice. Like if you just play the melody and the bass line. Oh, sorry. Like just that right there kind of tells you that's the whole song. And anything else that you flesh out. Anything you flesh out of those chord voicings. No, Uncle Ben does not have perfect pitch. He does not. Ron Jenkins is incorrect. I love Uncle Ben. He has a great relative pitch. He does not have perfect pitch. He can't tell you how many cents sharp or flat something is. He can tell you if it's sharp or flat, as a lot of us can. But no, perfect pitch is, and I don't think Rick has perfect pitch, Rick Beato. Dylan has perfect pitch. The guys that I think have perfect pitch, that I'm pretty sure, Rick's son has perfect pitch. Ron Thal, that you guys know as Bumblefoot. Bumblefoot has perfect pitch. And there's one more that I'm forgetting. But yeah. There's somebody else that I'm forgetting that it's right there. It's not Mark. I don't think Mark has perfect pitch. One of the boys, like somebody we know has perfect pitch. It's a buddy. I just can't remember who it is off the top of my head. Yeah, but I don't know Jacob. Jacob's probably got perfect pitch. I don't know Jacob though. Everybody's chiming in. I don't know him. I mean, he probably has perfect pitch, but I'm thinking about guys that I know. There's somebody I know that has perfect pitch. Somebody said this tune is a lot like Glycerin, which is from Bush, I think. Yeah. And really, really good. Really good. Some Q&A here. Angus McToon is in the house. McToon. Are you expecting to align the FM9 presets with Axe 3 at some point? Do you recommend using the Axe ones with the FM9? I have them all separated. I have folders of workflow separated. When they go up and they get on the store, there's a video that accompanies each one of them that tells you why something is the way it is. That means like why this button changes the face of the layout, or whatever it may do. So all of that stuff is separated from device to device, so you can take advantage of what this can do from a switching standpoint, instead of just importing the Axe 3s. And then, it's just different. A different approach for different device, different hardware, Templar guitar, my man, Templar guitar. The beautiful tone we are hearing right now, thank you, by the way, is that the FM9? It is not. This current tone is my favorite signal chain that I have. I love this sound. the red guitar into the Sir Woodshed compressor, and I'm telling you the full signal chain, whether or not something's on or off. So the guitar into the compressor, into the Joey Landreth Dirt Dog. Those two pedals are on right now. Into the gearbox. Gearbox is not on right now. Into the Sir SL68, which is a ripper amp. I love it. And then out of the Sir SL68 into the Universal Audio aux. That is providing the cabinet IR that you're hearing. That now gets transferred to line level, and then the line level goes into the VP4 from the aux, left and right, out of the VP4 into 2 channels of the Apollo. So you're getting the spread. See how it feathers around the room? From Fractal is the effects right now. It's just the VP4 on effects. Can you show us the way you set up your floating bridge? I have my own method. Wondering how you do it. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing. It's just flat. This is just like the Sir setup. You know, if anything, we raise John Cooper will raise the plate up a little bit of the tremolo, and then lower the angle of the saddles down just a little bit to create less of a hard break angle across the top of the saddle. That just makes it a little slinkier, but not. I mean, you know, Jason, this is pretty stock. This is really, really pretty stock. The setup from the factory is kind of what I like. It's not far off from that. I might adjust, you know, some micro movements that we're talking about, you know, 1/100th of an inch or something, but like, it's not, there's nothing that's, there's no secret sauce, you know? I think the secret sauce is installed from the factory. You know, I think those guys know what they're doing probably better than about anybody else in the world. You're confused about what the aux box is doing here. So the aux box is taking the speaker out of the SL68, and I'm coming into the aux box. You see what I'm saying? So that way you guys have direct cabinet audio. You know, I don't have mics on cabinets and sending them to the Apollo and all this kind of stuff. And then the aux box converts it to line tuning, line level. And that's just, I'm doing my effects, like my verb delay, pitch shift. I'm doing that after everything, like you would record an album. That way you can hear the spread and it's stereo. And by you, I mean literally you. Like if you put on earphones right now, you can hear the stereo spread. hard to do. So that's kind of that thing. Now the Mega Drive comes in from the gearbox. Yeah, it's Jordan Rudess. Thank you. Somebody said it. Jordan Rudess has perfect pitch. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. I knew there was one of our boys that had it. Yeah, so like the thick lead drive tone is the gearbox. That's like the sexiness. That drive is all gearbox. Oh, sorry. That's awesome, right? If you're looking for that Lydian sound, it's the Jurassic Park theme. Maybe we do a tune that we haven't played in a minute. See how that works. What would be a fun one to do? Do this one. I mean, do we do one we haven't really done in a long while? Let's do one we haven't done in a long while. I don't even remember this one. I have a good time on one. What's another fun one in here? Maybe let's do another ripper. Chat. Hi, buddy. The dog has entered the room. Here she is, ladies and gentlemen, the dog. She said, listen, enough of that foolishness. Can you let me outside? I probably can. Probably can. Right? Yeah, that's some good stuff. Having a good time. Kari, can you be good for another 10 minutes? Can you be good for another 10 minutes? Is that okay? Just 10 minutes, buddy. Yeah. All right. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, man. Good times. I'll happily purchase these backing tracks. Can you tell us the names? Yeah. That first tune is Imagine Love. And it was a bit of a, just thank you love letter to, the Hendrix kind of thing. And I really love those kind of double stops that he would do, that we all stole, it's like we all stole those, We stole so much of that stuff, and I wanted that kind of sound. other tune is Truth and a Lie. It might be listed just as a lie, but it's a two-sided song. It was on the acoustic side of the record as a mandolin bluegrass thing, and on the electric side as like the fusion-y kind of thing. It's all those fourths. That thing. And, you know, kind of... sounds. So come on, Andy. So those tunes are available with transcriptions. I improvise the solos, so the solos are different every time. But they're available at andywoodmusic.com. You can get guitar profile tabs, regular tabs, backing tracks, tone packs. All that stuff is at andywoodmusic.com. Now, if you want to really join in, as Ben Eller says, in the cool guy zone, the CGZ, that's currently hosted from my Patreon, which is patreon.com/AndyWoodMusic. And I host a weekly live Zoom masterclass. In that Patreon, you're going to have 700 videos that are just lesson videos that you'll have access to, even at the most basic tier, the $5 tier. But if you decide to try out the $25 a month tier, which I highly recommend, you can have access to our weekly live Zoom masterclass that I host. And it's a great time. We really get in the weeds with all kinds of different topics. You know, the current state of things. Like this week, we'll probably talk about Annika playing with Rush and that show coming back around. We talk about current events in the music industry, the business side of the industry. Obviously, there's been a lot of talk about the litigation and everything with, Fender and whatnot. And of course, so much about chops and, that kind of thing. It's a really, really good hang, good group of guys. We're going to do a limited run of Junktown on disc. We never did it on disc, so we're going to do that. With your trim being recessed, does that make the strings closer to the body than on a non-recessed? I like my wrist being close to the body to pick. The recess doesn't affect the height of the trim. I'm not sure if that's what you're asking or not. The recess is only so I can continue to pull it back and it not hit the body. See what I mean? The trim is where it should be. The recess is so we can go higher. Usually about a minor third. Yeah, minor third's a sweet spot. You know what I mean? Kind of that thing. Yeah. So when I'm kind of just feeling blue, and I also want to play some guitar, and I also want to work on my practice, but I don't really have a target. Like, I don't really have a show. Like, this week we'll be doing some shred stuff. I might kick up some shred stuff here in a few minutes because we're doing a show, a really big show at, I think it's one of the largest Harley Davidson venues in North America. And it's called The Shed, Maryville Harley Davidson. And The Shed is a big venue. Like Marcus King plays there, Blackberry Smoke, these kind of bands. Skankbanger, the mighty Skankbanger, is headlining there on Saturday night. It'll be a big show. So I'll probably knock around some 80s shred stuff today. Maybe get some Steve Vai things out and, kind of knock some Van Halen stuff around, knock some John Sykes. I like to be, feeling like in the style of, you know what I mean by that? Like when I improvise and stuff, be in the style of. So we're going to be doing that this weekend. And somebody says, Jam Tracks, are there dedicated Axe-Fx 3 patches to be posted on Patreon? Or the FM9 ones? The Axe-Fx 3 ones, I can upload those today if you guys want. That's no problem. I haven't been home this weekend because I did that amp class. Where's it at? This amp building class. So I've got to play some catch up today and get some things done, and I'll get you guys some of those Axe-Fx patches. I should play the Orange Surf for the Harley. You got to remember this, Jason. This is the thing. This is the most important thing about Skankbanger. Andy Wood is not in that band. You know what I mean? The Alter Ego is in that band. The Alter Ego has his own set of guitars, right? And it's the neon pink drip, and that's his own thing. I play a Lizzie Hale Gibson Explorer, on some tunes. So that's a whole different rig that's not even like my rig. That's an EVH 5153 stereo, 2 412s, 200 watt heads, the VP4 doing the split. And Tommy says, I have a question. I'm always busy and I don't have a lot of time to practice. Do you have a sound 30-minute routine for technique? Yeah, I mean, just songs. It's always about the songs to me. If you want to work on technique, find a song that requires a lot of technique and work on that song. It's never about, like, there's a difference between weightlifting and then training to play an NFL football game. This is an analogy that I like personally, because weightlifters and bodybuilders have a different goal set. And the NFL guy, he's going out there to do a thing to win a football game, to be specially honed for that. I'm closer to the NFL guy, the quarterback or the running back. I work on things to achieve a greater cause. Guys that just sit around and work on etudes and their licks and it's like a contest of champions to just have the most licks and workout routines, right? I don't really do that ever. I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm saying that I don't really do that. So if you're looking for those kind of like, take 5 of these and call me in the morning, I'm not really that guy. Like, if I want to work on technique, I just work on songs that require a lot of technique. Some Dream Theater stuff would be really good for that. If you really want to get in the weeds with that stuff, you gotta. That's it. Like, I would dig into that stuff, Those kind of things. It's like if I really wanted to bust my butt on some alternate picking, get the John Petrucci records out and find a section of music that it's like freaking intimidating, and you won't have to look very hard because he picks everything. So find a section of music that is musical, that serves a greater purpose. If you like what I do, and I'm not trying to be presumptive, but if you like what I do, maybe you could look at the section in Master Gracie's Banner for something to work on. this stuff that slow very often. But like, let's try it one more time. Like, that's kind of it right there, right? Yeah, Candyman's talking about it. Playing all of that up to speed is not an easy section of music. I wouldn't call that a low difficulty level. I would call that a little bit higher of a difficulty level. And getting it really clean and picked is a challenge. Again, but it serves the purpose of a song. It's not an exercise. It's just like, this is song. Dixie Dregs is good for that too, for sure. Any of the Mighty Steve Morse stuff. I always play that one because I love it so much. I need to learn Rising Power. I've had that on my list of Steve Morse tunes to learn for a long time, and I'd love to play that. I'd love to play it with him someday, if that opportunity ever arose. I think that would be really cool. Damage Control. Is that one? It's like those tunes really. It's got to be about the song. It really does. If you want to work on some technique, whether it be tapping or legato, it really doesn't matter what it is. Bends, if you want to work on bends, maybe that Whitesnake solo, it's got the, that's it. Right? Maybe more delay to make it sexy. I don't know what that last lick is. But it's really about those, trying to get I've worked it, it's like, now that string's a little flat, right? It's really finding songs that exemplify the thing you want to work on in your playing. I think that's, what's the point in buying an Eventide, right? Let's get in the gear world. What's the point in buying an Eventide or a Dr. Z? What's the point in buying a Dr. Z prescription extra strength if you want to play Kill Switch Engage songs? Like, what's the point in that? That's not the amp for you. That Bogner or that Diesel, probably the amp for you, right? Approaching your playing and your practice time in that same format is what I think the most important thing. And I think that's where the things that you work on will actually stick with you instead of like working on, Donna Lee or Cherokee if you're never going to play that style of music. Like, I don't invest a lot of my time into learning a ton of different bebop tunes because that's not what I'm going to be playing very often. Now, of course, I like to noodle at it and poke at it and have some fun, but I don't really, I'm not investing 9 hours a day to be the world's, best bebop guy. Like, those guys already exist and they're already doing that. Like Clint Strong, why do I need to? It's like, go listen to Clint do it. That's what I'm going to do. Listen to Clint Strong do it. This guy says not Puma. What? Oh, you don't like this? It was Monaco weekend, so I rep Scuderia. Played the guitar to match, right? Rep the Scuderia. And, cheers, man. Cheers, Music Notes. Are you still using the VP4 and can it be run in stereo? I'm using the VP4 currently right this second, and you're hearing it in stereo. So. And then with some more delay. Yeah. Really cool stuff in that solo too. I wish I was, man, to be a fly on the wall when Ed was cutting that stuff. Jesus, Templar Guitar says your tone enables so much. Granted the skill, but the tone lets you do it. Shout out to the people that have helped me. If you look up in the chat, you'll see a red pedal, and you'll see a logo that says Exact Tone. That's the XTS guys that I always talk about. My boys over there at XTS, Greg and Barry and Eric, they have been so patient with me over the years. And as I bring in different ideas and different ways to do things, no is never on the table. It's usually, have you thought about? And what if, And when I go in there, I try not to bother them too often. I try not to go in a lot, because if I go in there, I want to hang out for a couple of hours and see what they've been working on and see what's new and talk shop and talk about random stuff and hang. But I would say it's a fair assessment. In the past 5 years, I've really found my voice on a tonal spectrum. Songs like Storms and Sparrows and Junktown and Shoot the Sun Down and Free Range Chicken. These songs really, Helia, Cherry Blossoms, these songs, they're really my sound. And those XTS guys have been such a huge part of me figuring out what that is and what are the things that are in my way? What are the things that I need to move over? What are the things that I need to shine a spotlight on in the sound, in the EQ frequency? I present when I play through an amp. When I play through an amp, I present a lot of top end information because I pick, a lot of the notes. I pick most of the notes. And I need sounds that can kind of take that information and it not turn it into a table saw. You know what I'm saying? Like, it can easily get real not good because I can provide a lot of top end information, a lot of 3K, 4K, that kind of upper mid range. And I've looked and I've worked on ways to carve my sound, and I'm down to the speakers at this point. I'm doing I've got some 412s over here, some Sir 412s. One's loaded up with vintage 30s. Not my favorite. I've never been a vintage 30 guy, unless I'm playing metal. If I'm playing metal and hard rock, vintage 30 is, But for my sound, it provides more upper mid, which I don't need, right? So I lean towards the G1265. That's a really great speaker for me. Something that takes that top end and kind of smooths it out a little bit. The red back and things like that. So I'm getting ready to do some pretty serious inspections with speakers and some comparisons in the same cabinets, right? And again, it takes a village to raise an idiot. I'm very blessed. Like I'm seeing that every day in the things that I get to do in this industry and the things that I get to enjoy with the people that are awesome at it, And working with John Sir and his team, when we developed the products we developed, it was from a pragmatic problem-solving standpoint. And, Brian Wampler is a very focused individual, right? He can really, make it the way it needs to be made. And Lord knows there's a million great builders and great manufacturing guys, but I'm very lucky to work with the ones that I work with. It takes a piece of everything. A thing that I've really loved lately that's a small detail are these cables. These are from Germany, I think it's Germany. KLOTZ, Klotz. These cables have been like the last little thing I've been into, and I know it sounds weird to be like, it's a cool cable, it's a good sound cable. I like this cable. I will say it. This is a good cable. These kind of things. Yeah, God, the Rev guys. I've enjoyed this Joey Landreth pedal a lot. Like, that's a really great sounding pedal, and Rob Keeley with what he's been able to give us with echo and verb and delay, man, it's just about as good as it can get. You know what I mean? Like, it really is just about as good as it can be. And very lucky to work with these guys. So I appreciate the tonal compliments. I think if I can take credit for anything, it's like I know what I'm looking for. But it definitely takes a team of very, very gifted, talented manufacturers and individuals to complete the whole picture. We're always in search of moving the ball forward a little bit. And if there's something that I can do with my rig to move it forward, I'm always after that. Which makes me want to just set up the big rig and go crazy. Haven't done that in a minute. This is a big board. You can't fly with it. This is too big to fly with. So a lot of the stuff I've been doing lately, I've been flying. But I'm not trying to just glaze these guys. They obviously live upon their own merits, but I sure am glad I get to work with them. I'm glad they like what I do. Dream Guitar, John Hayes says, a Sir Standard legacy and getting a laptop. The money is from a small inheritance. I don't want to make the wrong choice, as I won't do this again. John, I can't tell you what that is, but I can give you my perspective. My perspective is the laptop is a consumable consumer electronic that will be dated in a very short amount of time, as fast as technology is going. That guitar, I still got my first guitar. You got to make your own decisions in life. but I know the one I would make. So, Trevor is saying, look for Lee Jackson's JMP. You'd dig it. I bet I would, because if I'm not mistaken, maybe one of you guys that are really in tune with the Zakk Wylde sound, weren't Zach's Marshalls modded by Lee Jackson? I know they had bigger power amp tubes, maybe KT66s or 6550s. Went in a 6550 type tube. But I think those were Lee Jackson modded Marshalls, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I know that the Blizzard era, the No More Tears, the Zakk No More Tears era, it's about the best it can be. For a hard rock tone, just about the best it can get. Have you ever noticed that the Sir Ebony boards have a peculiar smell? I've played a few at stores. They all have a certain smell. I know it's weird. That could be the style of finish that they put on them. I noticed that Gibsons have a smell and Martins have a smell. There's something cool about it to me. Like when I open a Gibson case and it smells like the Gibson smell, I'm like, this is good. Same way with Martins. You open up a Martin case, it smells like a Martin. You're like, oh man, it smells like an old pine box or something. I don't know. It just, something's really good. Something really good about it. Yes, they were. And then he went to a Metaltronics rack system. I don't even know what that is. I know what a rack system is. I don't know what Metaltronics is. Was that preamps? You know? But man, that's my era. Let me tell you about it. That's my drug. That's my era. That No More Tears. Whoo, buddy. That's good stuff. I'm going to get off here and hang out. My dog is obviously, look at this thing. Look at her. She's now pouting. So she really wants to go outside. So we got to take this baby outside, which I'm going to do. I just thanks for hanging out, and working with me on some things. Hearing my perspective, I certainly don't have any of this mastered. I'm a student just like you guys who I just want to get better. I want to be better, and it takes putting yourself in this seat every single day to try to do it and get better. But I think one of the things that I want to reiterate and put a bow on the conversation for today's live stream, if you want to stay inspired with music, find songs that you genuinely like and inspect them through a different lens. Like I had no intentions of making an album with an instrumental version of Use Your Love tonight, right? Outfield. But I do think that working on that taught me some things. And it wasn't like I downloaded it or looked for it externally, looked for the answer elsewhere. Like a lot of the times you're going to get the most out of your playing when you take an introspective look at your playing and you go, what do I want to hear? What can I do? Not to say that you don't need to look at other places. I mean, this is technically another place, isn't it? Right? Like you're coming here to hang out, right? But I think maybe if anything, I can just reiterate that if there's a song that you really love, maybe just try to play the bass line and then take a breath and then try to play the melody line and then see what it would look like. Try to play them together. I think that's it, man. I hope everyone has a great rest of the week. I've got to grind. We got a lot of stuff to get done. I'm going to make a video here for the Patreon kids. And thanks to all my Patreon supporters and people that keep the lights on. If you want to throw $5 in the old beer bucket, that's at patreon.com/AndyWoodMusic. It gets you about 600-700 lesson videos. And if you want to take part in our weekly live Zoom masterclass, that'll be tomorrow night at 6:30. That's going to be available to the tiers that are $25 and higher. So the $25 tier and higher will get you access to the weekly live Zoom masterclass. They're about 2 hours long, and they're archived. So if you want to go back and rewatch them, you can. And you get 4 of those a month. So you get 8 hours of interactive Zoom call, that I host. And you get good audio and, studio quality audio through the Zoom call. It's really fun. It's actually this same shot and this same audio. So, yeah. With that said, I appreciate you guys. Be blessed. Hope everyone has a fantastic week and, do something to make the world a better place. All right. We'll see you next time.